college basketball season. The 7th-ranked New Blue Devils host Bears from Maine in Durham, North Carolina. And welcome.
7 points in the next game, and his impact will be of the same degree. He's not hunting shots or stats. He's hunting the right play, and I think it's those winning intangibles which are his best attribute, and it's refreshing. I think if you're seeing Cooper Flagg for the first time tonight, it is refreshing to see a player compete the way he does, a player of his youth and talent.
This is the unfurling of Cooper Flagg. And the other part of this story tonight is that they are playing against his home state school. He told me earlier today he actually dreamt of being a Maine Black Bear when they are different players. They're about the same size, but Cooper reclassified. He should have been a high school senior this year. His brother